It's Wednesday afternoon and time for us to turn our attention to some legal matters. This is part of our commitment to putting Southeast Texas first. It's the time when we get to ask the judge. We are joined this afternoon by Judge Gordon Freeze from the 317th District Court in Jefferson County. Judge, how are things?
I'm good. How about you, Jordan?
Things are good. Things are good. Kind of busy. This first question's lengthy, so let me get to reading. This person says, I moved away and had to terminate my lease at my Beaumont apartment. Since I didn't give a 60-day notice, I had to pay 2 months rent. I took most of my belongings and rushed off to start a new job, left some things behind, plus some cleaning supplies that I wanted to pick up on my September 30th move out. When I arrived on 9/30, the complex had already tossed out my things and had already cleaned out what was left in my apartment. I contacted the owner to express frustrations, requested at least my last 2 months to be refunded. He agreed that they were in the wrong, but then when I showed up to return the keys, I was told I'd get 1 month rent and then get the second month in about 6 weeks after the contractors deducted what I owed for damages. I disagreed because I wasn't given the opportunity to clean or make repairs. I also don't trust the complex. Now I cannot reach the owner. What's your advice?
You know, without knowing exactly what the lease terms were as far as notice and termination, it seems like there's a lot going on in this situation. It sounds like there was an early termination issue based on the question, but apparently they had reached some kind of agreement with the landlord as far as cleaning out the apartment. But if there's anything in writing they might have, a text, an email, whatever it may be, that would definitely help as far as enforcing any agreement that was made for them to receive their deposit or those 2 months rent. Depending on the value of the property that was thrown away and the potential refund, a lawyer might be able to contact the landlord and get this resolved in pretty short order. Alternatively, their best place to turn would probably be a justice or a small claims court. These types of disputes are regularly handled by the great justices of the peace here in Jefferson County and even the surrounding counties if they're not in Jefferson County. And this definitely sounds like something that they could probably handle themselves with a JP Court's assistance.
All right, good advice there. This next question is a custody matter. The viewer says, does a child have to be a blood relative of a family that he wants to live with? What age can a child decide where they want to live?
So a somewhat simple question with maybe a rather complex answer.
Okay.
Let me start by saying that the child choice statute is one of the most misunderstood provisions in the Texas Family Code. I hear this all the time, heard it as a lawyer, still hear it in court. Children do not get to choose where they live in the state of Texas. And at the age of 12, they are able to give the court input on where they would prefer to live, but they don't get to choose. So I'm answering the second part of the question first, but the other part would be, as for being a non-blood relative, they may have standing, which means the ability to get into court and ask for custody, to petition the court for custody of the child if they've had actual care, control, and possession of the child for at least 6 months, ending not more than 90 days before they file suit. That's subject to some other provisions, such as a fit parent presumption and other conditions, but it's a very, very high bar for a non-parent, non-blood relative to even have the ability to ask for custody in the state of Texas. In the scenario they've laid out, again, with the very limited information they've given, I think there would probably be a lot of issues to overcome in order to have standing and even get into court to ask for custody of that child. But there are always exceptions, and so it would probably be advisable for them to reach out to an experienced family law attorney.
Yeah. Judge, we're going to have to leave it there. Those are some really good insights. This is your area of expertise, so we appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.
Good to see you. Folks, if you've got a question, go to 12newsnow.com/askthejudge, and there's a form to fill out right there.